For the final 25 minutes of basketball against Utah State, the Mick Cronin, the maestro of March, some might call him, UCLA Bruins absolutely dominate. For the first 15 minutes, it's very back and forth, very close game. And then there's just nothing more beyond that. UCLA rolls through. Sky Clark looks great. Uh, there were Mara looked great in the first half. Different guys were working at different times. My name's Guy Franklin. I'm with Connor Hope. Connor, I would just like to say I picked UCLA. You picked Utah State. I'm feeling pretty good about that in the preview. But let's start with the Bruins. What'd you see out of them? What'd you like?
Yeah, what I liked was offensively, they were aggressive. We had discussed Utah State's weakness is their defense. Early on in this game, they were really getting at Utah State. Um, Mick Cronin said it at one of the breaks, like their issue in this game was not their offense. Uh, and I think that's twofold, right? I think it's UCLA being great, but I also think that the kind of half press janky zone that Utah State runs just wasn't working against this UCLA team. They were getting into the middle of it at will. You mentioned it, Mara in the first half was just dominant with his size. He had 10 points at the end of the game, 5 blocks on defense, but offensively he had 6 rebounds. He had a couple of assists that were really like he's one of those players who over the course of the season you've really seen him um, develop his IQ as much as like his skill is to the same level. And in this one, he was reading the court really well. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of a routine offense. They made 10 threes. Uh, they were perfect from the free throw line, got to 72 points. Um, 22 assists on 26 made buckets. They were moving the basketball really well against this Utah State team, and I think that's what led to their they were taking advantage of what Utah State was doing defensively, and doing exactly what Arkansas didn't do at the end of their game against Kansas, which was move the ball really well, get it into the middle of that zone, and just kind of blow things up from there.
Yeah, I was about to talk about UCLA's willingness to make that extra pass, play selfless basketball. You know, it's just a team that we weren't sure if they were all going to be bought in with Mick Cronin's remarks in January, December, whenever that was, and they clearly did. They took it to heart. They, got motivated, and this is a very good UCLA team. I think if you are a Bruins fan, you have to feel really good about your chances going into the Tennessee game. I think if you're Utah State, it's a tough game. I mean, having tough games in March isn't something that fans of the Aggies are new to. Obviously, last year the game against Purdue didn't go too well in the second round. You get bounced in the first round here. Feels tough. I still think that this is a overall very positive season. You've got a new coach coming in Jared Calhoun. At this point, you're just hoping he stays around for another year because he is a hot name uh, in this year's coaching carousel. Uh, it's sometimes this is just the way that the cookie crumbles in March. Mason Falslev has a great game. You've got to hope that he comes back for another year. Well, he's got 2 years left, but you've got to hope he resists the temptations of the portal. And you have to wave goodbye to Ian Martinez. It's a tough, he's a star, but it's the end of the season. He's out of eligibility. Uh, just a tough game all around. Like there's not much to say. You got outclassed. You shoot 12% from three, 30% from the field. You've got to do better. I know UCLA's got a great defense, and that's what Mick Cronin's known for, really having a great defensive scheme, playing slow, forcing you to bend to him, but you don't even put up 50. Just tough all around.
And I think that's more Utah State than UCLA. At least early on, right? Utah State had 16 offensive boards in this game. Utah State, it's not like they were taking 31 contested 3-point jumpers.
Mhm.
They were taking good looks when they could find them. Some were contested, some were ill-advised, but they had quite a few good looks. They just weren't dropping. And when your defense is playing as bad as Utah State's defense was against this UCLA offense, you have to make those shots. Um, but even if you don't, like if you shoot your average from three, you're talking what, uh 12 made threes, 13 made threes, so that's an extra 27 points, and you're still like probably, I mean, you win at that point, but in that like situation, it's not like you're winning by a lot, right? Like their offense, their sets, they were good. And you could tell Mick Cronin was getting frustrated with his defense in the first half of this game, especially. When it got into the second half, they were just kind of like forcing it up because, when you're down by 30, um, you just kind of have to chuck threes at that point. Um, but yeah, I mean, Ian Martinez having 2 points on 11 shots. Uh, when your best player is 1 of 11, 0 of 7 from deep,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you
But I
pick
don't think,
hands
I
up.
don't think, I don't think you look at the score and you're like, oh, Utah State's offense was bad. No, their shooting was bad, but
Yeah.
their offense was fine. Their defensive sets, like actual execution of their defense, was much worse than the execution of their offense.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this in the preview, but Evan Mia's predictive metrics got this one right. They said UCLA was a lot better of a team than Utah State. Utah State, able to win games, but unable to win them in convincing fashion. You lose this one in convincing fashion. It's an unfortunate end to a very successful season, I want to say. UCLA will have your preview up against Tennessee. It should be up on the channel right now if you're watching this. We are literally just about to record that one the second after we end this recording against Tennessee. So make sure you subscribe from Connor Hope and from Guy Franklin. We hope you enjoyed this video.
It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.